Welcome back to Living Local. As we continue to honor remarkable women in the QCA, our next finalist is a wife, mom, and grandmother. She wears many hats in her family and also in our community. That's right. Joining us now is Melinda Smith-Pace. Melinda, thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and your family.
Well, I was actually born in Wisconsin, but I'm a Quad Cities implant. I love it here. It's my favorite place in the world. And I am a PhD student for nonprofit studies, and I have a master's in public policy. I love to be an advocate for people who have no voice. So that's what I do in my free time. And I'm a mother of 3 special needs kids who are mostly grown. My youngest turns 18 next week. And I have a granddaughter who's 2, who also has special needs and just amazing. Been married 25 years to my husband, Michael, who's a disabled veteran.
Goodness. So you literally went to great lengths for your family, for your children, I should say, but you moved from Georgia to Iowa. What specifically brought you here to the Quad Cities?
Well, as I said before, I'm an advocate. And my middle daughter, Francine, has autism and intellectual disabilities.
Okay.
And I adore her, obviously. And she was not getting what she needed educationally. She was left in a room pretty much her entire 3 or 4 years and was not being taught. And I knew she could do better. I knew that education system could do better. And I did a lot of research, and my husband and I decided we needed to move back to the Midwest. And when we did, it was amazing. Francine excelled, and she was homecoming queen, and she's just a remarkable young woman who I'm very proud of. And that's because we made the right choice for our family.
Yeah, it sounds like that, definitely. So you cheering on those with special needs, that's not all you do. Tell us a little bit about your work with veterans.
Well, like I said, my husband's a disabled veteran, and in the last 4 or 5 years, we realized that that takes a big chunk of our life, and I realized that I was a caregiver and found out that there are 5.5 million caregivers in the United States of disabled veterans who help their husband, son, whoever it is, with all their medical and physical and mental health needs. And I decided to do something about that because those people weren't getting recognized, and being a caregiver is a lot of work.
Yes.
So I joined what's called the Elizabeth Dole Foundation as Iowa's fellow, and we've been working to change the legislative laws. We've been working hard nationally to do all sorts of things that benefit our military caregivers in the United States. I also, of course, am part of our local VFW here, 9128.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to them. And we do a lot of things locally here for our veterans as well that I'm quite proud of. So we do a lot of different things on many different levels. We had a state conference for caregivers recently that was awesome, and we declared the day, the Governor Reynolds declared the day National Caregiver Day for Iowa.
Okay.
That was very exciting.
So you also, on top of all of this, if that wasn't enough, right, you also founded a food and clothing pantry. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I live in Bettendorf, and we realized that there were just, as I was talking to people, we realized that there was a huge need for food and clothing being available to people in lower income brackets who maybe have jobs, but suddenly your child needs an extra pair of shoes, or you're short on food for the month because your paycheck wasn't quite what you expected. And got together with a bunch of people, found out that a local nonprofit had space, and we worked together with several other nonprofits to make it happen. So we opened up a food and clothing pantry that serves hundreds of people every week, and I am no longer part of that because I moved on working with the veterans. You can only do so much in a day. But it's thriving and growing, and I'm very proud of that work as well.
So what would you say you're most proud of? Would it be the food and clothing pantry?
Actually not.
No.
I'm most proud of my children.
Okay.
My children are also advocates in our community, making a difference. Francine works hard to be an advocate with Ask Resource for people with disabilities. Rebecca is a mentor to other military children, and so we're carrying on the tradition of being very involved with our community locally and nationally, and that's really important to me, being a voice for the people who don't have a voice.
Definitely. Well, Mindy, you are truly inspiring. You really are, and what you do, and there's really hope in the world thanks to people like you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on.
Thanks.
All right. Stick around. More Living Local will continue after the break. Stay with us.